Hey student, I am teacher Prix and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Welcome to another live hangout. Tonight we're going to work on very interesting ideas to help you become an independent English speaker who can talk to people in English and understand people in English. I am live here on YouTube and on Instagram. If you want to catch these slides, come to YouTube because then you get to see the slides that I have prepared. It'll be a much better experience for you. If you're catching the replay, you're awesome. Make sure to watch the lesson until the end because I always divide the lesson into specific parts, and usually by the end of the lesson, middle and I don't know exactly when, but it's here. I give you important steps, important strategies to help you work on the things that I'm going to talk about tonight, okay? Today, I'm going to be talking about what? What am I going to talk about today? Today, I'm going to be talking about three things you must absolutely stop doing if you want to become an independent English speaker. What is an independent English speaker? It's someone who can confidently talk to people in English, understand people in English. They can travel safely and talk to people. They can understand conversations, native and non-native speakers. They can watch their favorite movies. They are free. They are independent to go anywhere, anytime. So here, there are three things we're going to be talking about tonight that you need to stop doing if you want to become that person, okay? Go anywhere, anytime, talk to anyone. Well, there's stuff we need to do, okay? Now, guys, as usual, you gotta let me know who you are. In this kind of live lesson, I always ask, and if you're catching the replay, because I know lots of you catch the replay, well, tell me who you are. Are you a newbie? Someone watching me for the first time? Maybe you don't know me very well. You have recently found my channel, so awesome. Or maybe you are a regular. You know me. Maybe you've been watching my lessons for a while, for quite some time. Or maybe, even better, you are a BSA, a student in my online program, the Real English Academy. So these are the three options we have got here, okay? People who are newbie, people who are regular, people who are BSA. I want to know who you are, okay? People on Instagram, tell me your story, newbie, regular, or BSA. Now, that being said, let's keep rolling, okay? Why learning what to stop is important? Why learning what you cannot do, what you should stop doing is important? Basically, guys, this will help you create new habits. But not just any habits, good habits that will help you be more successful on your journey, on your English journey. So that's why this lesson is so important, because I imagine you want to achieve independence, you want to be fluent, you want to talk to people, you want to understand people more easily, you want to have good conversations. And to make that happen, you need to change your habits to establish new habits. That's why we're here. That's why understanding more about these three things that I'm going to show you and explain to you, give you examples, is so important. And another thing why you have to understand this, some students fail because they lack direction. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. And guys, if you think about it, last week we had a listening practice. That was good, okay? We had a listening practice, we had vocabulary, we talked about collocation, we talked about listening. Make sure to watch these lessons. But on your journey to fluency, it's not simply about watching a grammar lesson. Oh, I'm going to study a new grammar lesson. I'm going to study a phrasal verb lesson and that's it. Well, no, sometimes you need lessons that will give you strategies, that will give you ideas to help you change, to help you understand the things you need to change, the things you need to do. And that's the purpose of this lesson. That's actually the main purpose of the live lessons that I create. If you check my main channel on YouTube, I have hundreds of lessons where I teach you vocabulary, grammar, reading tips. But these live lessons will be a moment to work on that too, not particularly today, but also to give you the ideas so that you know, so that you have direction on where to go, on what to do. Because if you don't have the right directions, if you don't have clarity in your process, it can be very difficult to improve, especially if you study English alone, okay? And what may happen when you follow these three things? If you do these three things that I'm going to recommend, you stop, okay? Well, first and foremost, you waste time. I imagine you have priorities in life, you have things you need to do. And if you follow these strategies the wrong way, if you do these things, you are wasting time. And in a society where time is really valued, we need to use our time wisely because, as I've said before, time is life. And you don't want to waste your life away. You want to be productive with the time you have. Because every second you spend doing something means you're spending your life. You're using up your lifetime, okay? Very well. So yes, someone says to reality, yes, you're right, motivation first and guidance, the two things. Of course, we need to learn activities, vocabulary, grammar, yada, yada, yada. But we also need the guidance, okay? I need to show you direction. We need to understand the mind, how the mind works. In my method, these are the two most important things. We have the brain, the emotions, how you work to open your mind to fluency, and the language aspect. We can't just be like, yes, I will improve, teacher. I believe you. Fired up and ready to go. Yeah, but then let's get to work. And if you don't know what to do, then it doesn't matter how motivated you are because you will be stuck. Just feeling, well, without doing anything. Maybe you need a little action in the right direction, okay? A little bit every day. A little goes a long way, okay? Now, the next thing. Oh my God, my face is itching. You put effort in the wrong practice. Maybe you are excited about studying English, but every now and then you begin to lose it, you get lost because you're putting effort, you're working hard, but in the wrong place, in the wrong practice. That's bad. So it's connected to wasting time. You follow these three things, you are wasting time and you are using your energy. You're putting effort in the wrong practice. Oftentimes, students send me emails. When I say students, my followers, okay? On Instagram or here on YouTube in the comments or by email. They send me messages like, oh, teacher, but I work so hard on this. And I'm like, putting effort in the wrong practice. And I'm going to give you very clear examples tonight. Another thing that may happen to you if you follow the three practices that you have to stop, and you will, I know you will. You build unproductive habits, bad habits. We are creatures of repetition. When you repeat the bad practice over and over and over again, it becomes a habit. It becomes something automatic. Good or not, good or bad. Why is it some people can't stop eating? Oh, it's a habit. So they need better habits. They need to make specific changes in their lifestyle, in their mind, to stop a bad habit. And if you follow these three things, you are building bad habits. And the next thing, these bad habits may result in negative emotions. So we go back to my method again, emotions and language. Your bad study habits, your bad English habits will cause negative emotions. And what will negative emotions cause? They will make you stressed. They will make you procrastinate. Many times the students feel like, oh, I procrastinate. I don't know why. I procrastinate. Well, it's in the emotion. It's something you're trying to avoid. Maybe you feel bad when you study English, so your brain will try to protect you. How? No, don't study. No, 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 no. Watch this video on Netflix. Watch this movie. English is too hard. Your brain is trying to protect you. So procrastination is a result of bad emotions, negative emotions. And because of this cycle, you will not build the confidence to go anywhere, anytime, talk to anyone. You will not feel confident to speak English. You will not believe in your ability to communicate to people. And that is a problem. That is the thing that I want you guys to avoid. Really avoid. And it's important that you understand this. The lessons that I create here, they have a sequence. And right at the beginning, you need to understand the consequences. You will make the decision on your own. You know, take what's good, ignore what is not relevant to you. Now, that being said, the first thing you need to stop doing is stop the mess. Oh, my God. Do you know the word mess? M-E-S-S. Do you know the word mess? Hashtag yes, hashtag no, mess. Do you know the word mess? I want to see your answer here in the comments. People on Instagram, do you know the word mess? M-E-S-S. Do you know the word mess? The word mess. Tell me. Let's see. This word is important for your comprehension. Sometimes your problem is not listening. It's vocabulary. You listen to a word you don't know. Then you're like, what is she talking about? Well, you don't know a word. You will not understand what people are saying. Now, guys, let's see. My slide. Where's my slide? Okay. Stop the mess. Now, guys, basically, mess is disorganization, okay? Anything that is not organized is disorganized. But mess is the name. It's a noun. Messy, M-E-S-S-Y, is an adjective, messy. But mess is the noun. It's the definition. Disorganization, okay? Now, I will explain the mess that I'm talking about here. Usually this mess, this disorganization is connected with where you study, how you study, and how you feel. So where you study, it's related to environment, the place, and your body. Your body, yes, and I will explain. So place where you study, environment, and body. Remember that to help you understand the consequences, okay? How you study, the mind, and I will explain, okay? And how you feel about what you study, the mind and the spirit. Teacher, I don't believe in spirits. Okay, it's okay, no problems. All good, it's okay. You don't need to believe in spirits. But think of that as like an emotional state, in awareness, okay? If you don't believe, like in spirit, I mean in the sense of awareness, your conscious mind in a higher level. But that's basically what I'm trying to describe, okay? So these three things: where you study, how you study, and how you feel about what you study. Now let's keep rolling, because this is important. There are many things to talk about that. Let's focus on the first element. And this is number one, stop the mess. I'm still describing stop the mess, but I need to explain the three things so that you understand. The first one is environment and body. Here on YouTube, you can see an image of a woman, and nothing wrong with that, but she is lying down, okay? Maybe she's in bed, and she's like this. Yeah, she's not smiling, but I am. I'm an actress. And now this has two problems, okay? Environment and body. How would you feel if I were like this? I'm Teacher Prix. Yo,
Hi, can I help you?
That's not nice. Environment and body, posture, alert. You need to be alert when you're studying. So this is something that happens to a lot of students. Unfortunately, because of the way social media is being spread all over the world, we are tending to confuse studying and entertainment. It is amazing to connect both, but it's not always possible to connect entertainment and studying. And your environment, the place, when I'm talking about environment, when I say the word environment, I'm talking about place, where you study, and your body, your posture. Guys, if you're in bed right now watching this lesson, that's cool, but you're not going to get a lot of information. Ideally, you should be taking notes, writing things down. Maybe this lesson, maybe you don't do this right now, but I recommend you do that in your practice. And I'm going to be giving you some interesting recommendations. But here we have a problem. It's disorganized. Is it rest time or is this study time? This is bad. You are confusing your brain. Remember, the brain, it's like a computer. And your computer is getting access to previous memories. So if you're constantly trying to study when you're relaxing, you will confuse your brain. When it's time to study, you study. When it's time to sleep and relax, relax. So if you're in bed watching videos, watch videos, but don't say that's studying, because it is not. You are sending the wrong signals to your body. Tony Robbins, he talks a lot about that. When you are feeling sad, or when you're feeling, angry, or let's see, when you're feeling tired, or when you're feeling sad, or anxious, or, whatever emotion you are, you need to pay attention to your physiology. Your physiology. What is this? Your body. That's what physiology talks about. It's how your body works. So one thing you need to stop doing is this. We're choosing the wrong place, the wrong environment, and using the wrong body posture. Sit down, grab a piece of paper, and study. Last week, I started reviewing a course, an online course that I bought, and the teacher added some new lessons. Has nothing to do with language, okay? It's about something else. And this was the first thing he talked about. Physiology. Write down. Focus. This will impact your learning, your results. That's very, very important. You have no idea how much that impacts you. So here I am. I have my environment to study, to focus. When it's relaxed time, it's relaxed time. When it's time to work, it's time to work. How you study. This is the second element. How you study. Here again on YouTube, you can see the slide. And there's a picture of a man exercising. He's using a gym equipment, and he's reading a book. He's doing leg work, and he's holding a book. That's ridiculous. That's bonkers, okay? That's no, okay? That's a big no. Do you know the word bonkers? By the way, bonkers? Let me type here for you guys. Do you know the word bonkers? Hashtag yes, hashtag no. And this is the sale. Let me tell me the answer here if you know the word bonkers, yes or no, okay? In the meantime, I will carry on with the explanation. Now, are you using your core skills when studying English? Cognitive skills. For example, what are some cognitive skills? Thinking, reading, remembering, reasoning, paying attention? Are you using all these core skills when you're studying English? To learn English or any other thing, you need to stop, pay attention, reason, remember. Otherwise, you're not going to learn. Depending on where you are, it is very difficult to access your core skills. How are you going to take notes if you're fucking foreign driving? So many people don't know bunkers. Bunkers is crazy. Okay? That's what it means. It means crazy. It's an informal way to say crazy. You can also say go bonkers, go crazy. It's a possibility. So how are you going to use your reasoning while driving the car and listening to a podcast? What is your reasoning? Analyzing. Agree, disagree, analyzing information, paying attention to details. You don't do that when you're driving because you're driving. You're using your cognitive skills to other things. You're paying attention. You think you're multitasking, but you are not. And there are many scientific studies that show what happens to your brain when you're driving and doing something else, or eating and doing something else. You divide your attention. I was talking to a student yesterday, and I was telling her that I have this morning routine. Basically, I do what I teach you guys. And I tell her that I like to listen to something in English when I'm having breakfast. But what happens? Because I am dividing my attention between eating something yummy and paying attention to the English audio clip, I always miss something. So I always need to finish my breakfast and listen to the audio clip again because I'm not paying attention. I need to be honest with myself. Every time I finish my breakfast, I listen to the audio clip again, I catch something new. Why? Because before that, I was dividing my attention. I was using my core skills with other things, with something else. Eating. You divide your attention, like it or not. You're dividing your attention. Maybe you listen to the words, but you were not using your reasoning. Pay attention. Sometimes you may stop eating because you listen to something, oh, and then you stop eating. This may happen. Why? Because your brain does not share attention like that so easily. You think it does, but it doesn't. Okay? So be very careful. Are you using your core skills? And this is connected with environment, okay? Watch out for that. Where's my thing? Okay, here. To learn a second language, paying attention, reasoning, remembering, they're vital. It's kind of difficult to do that in the back seat of a car, or while you're on the bus or the train, or riding a bike, or listening to music, or listening to something at the gym, or going for a walk and listening to something. Everything I listen to when I'm walking, I have to listen again because I don't remember, even in my native language, okay? Even in my native language, I can't. If I listen to something while I'm running or walking or cooking, I will have to listen again, and I often do it because I don't remember the information. Why? Because I'm not using my core skills. Reasoning, attention. I'm doing something else that is requiring my skills. Another thing, how you feel. The third element, and we are number 1, okay? Your emotions will be influenced by your study habits. That is to say, if you have a bad study habit, if you have a bad practice, if you have a bad routine that is not very productive, you feel negative about it. And as a result, you may start to doubt, to question your capacity to learn. And it does not stop there. As you are questioning yourself, your ability to learn, your self-esteem decreases because you're questioning your capacity. You're not getting good results. You're following the wrong practices. So your self-esteem up goes down, 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 and under. So if you want to be more confident, stop breaking promises you make to yourself. This is one piece of advice I heard an expert saying, okay? Very well. Very well. Moving on. Second thing, stop working too hard on one skill and ignore the others. No, teacher, I study English every day. You know, I have this app and I study vocabulary every day. Every day there are new words. Girl, I'm on fire. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And the pronunciation. Teacher. Shadowing. Teacher. Reading. Grammar. Maybe you spend too much time on one skill and you ignore the others. Sometimes it's speaking. Teacher, I just speak. I will talk about that later. But let's do a quick survey. How much time do you spend on reading, on listening, on writing, on grammar, on vocabulary, on speaking, on pronunciation, on intonation, on culture, on entertainment? Sometimes you spend a lot of time on entertainment. Celebrate good times. Come on. Celebrate good times. How much time do you spend on entertainment? And then you think, oh, I'm studying English. I'm having fun. Yo, watching this movie. Erica, but if I drink a cup of coffee, I'm studying. Well, picture yourself drinking coffee. I don't think you are non-stop drinking coffee. Just as right now, I drank water. I had to stop speaking to drink water. Therefore, I had to stop the class very quickly to drink water. So I'm really talking about more specific activities, not just taking a short second break to drink water, okay? So guys, how much time do you spend on entertainment? How much time do you spend on pronunciation, on shadowing, intonation, vocabulary, writing, listening, and reading? Students tend to feel that, oh, I will be an independent English speaker if I speak a lot. There, yo, I got it. No, it's a combination of activities. If you don't do this, if you don't spend the right amount of time doing different activities, the right combinations, you're not going to improve the way you're thinking you are. And this is very dangerous. But teacher, I listen to the news every day, every morning, I sit down and I listen a lot to the news. Well, again, we go back to the point one. You're listening to the news. Okay, let's go back to the first point. How about the environment when you listen to the news? How about your core skills? Paying attention, reasoning. Are you including them? Are you taking that into consideration? As an English learner who wants to improve, you need to analyze the information you study. You need to review the information you study. You need to write, check new words. And depending on where you are, that's not possible. So listening to the news, that's great. But then we think point number two. Well, maybe you're spending too much time doing that. How about the other activities? How about the other skills? That's a very important thing to take into consideration. So we go back to points 1 and 2. Everything is connected. These 3 points are connected. So listening to the news, that is not going to transform your English the way you think. Because millions of people watch Netflix for 2-3 hours every day and they don't improve their listening comprehension. Why? No practice, no strategy. Even people that I know who have told me that by watching TV series they improved, when I ask about the details, then they begin to share the goods, explain. It was not just watching. There was action involved. There was concentration involved. Even there. Okay? Even there. So be careful. Start analyzing. Am I following a good combination of activities? Or do I spend too much time doing some games in apps? And they have good intentions, but maybe they are not the best thing for you to do. Or you spend too much time doing. It can fit into the category of entertainment. For me, any app that brings the gamification element will go to entertainment. I spend less time on entertainment. I focus on more productive activities. So watch out for that. That's a very important point you need to consider. And number 3, stop using your native language to learn. Stop using your native language to learn English, to study English. I don't know if you're Brazilian, if you're Spanish, if you're Japanese, if you're Chinese, if you're Mexican, but you gotta start studying English in English. This video is 100% in English, so this means I'm focusing on specific students here. So examples of studying English in your language: taking notes in native language, watching lessons in your native language, playing games that instigate, that encourage the use of your native language. That's translation. Reading bilingual books, one page in English, the other page next to it in your native language. That's using your native language. You know, if you check my oldest videos here on my channel, my main channel, this is my live channel. But if you check my oldest videos, they are in Portuguese. And the main reason why I stopped making videos in my native language was that I understood that I was not following this point that I think is so important. False beginners and pre-intermediate speakers, which are the students I focus on, should study English in English. So I was failing because I was not doing what I preach. And that can be tricky, that can be complicated. So I changed myself and I started making videos 100% in English because the students I intend to help, the students I help, they have to learn English in English. They have reached a level where they need to change their focus to the English language and stop making comparisons. So this is something that you need to take into consideration. Teacher, when I'm listening to something in English, my brain always translates. So this has a lot to do with how you started your journey. If your journey was really focused on translation, now it's inevitable because you trained your brain. You were like educating your brain to follow that and that and that, and the repetition of an action becomes a habit. So to change that, we need to take a closer look at your habits and make important changes in other skills, because you were talking about listening. Okay, so we need to change vocabulary practice, grammar practice, writing practice, reading practice to help you stop translating in your head, okay? You know, sometimes sometimes students come to me and say, but teacher, they ask a vocabulary question. Teacher, how can I say Brazilian people, okay? This is especially for Brazilian people. Teacher, how can I say, ai, teacher, estou só o pó da rabiola. Estou só o pó da rabiola for non-Brazilians is tired, very tired. But it's so absurd when people come to me and ask for these really unique expressions in Portuguese. And when I tell them tired, they're like, teacher, but tired is so simple. Simplicity always wins. And this is a problem with translation. Guys, you will never, ever express yourself in English the exact same way you do in Portuguese or in Italian or in Spanish, because we're talking about different languages. We're talking about different cultures. We're talking about different history. So it's not possible to make this connection. And the more you try to do, the more you hunt expressions, because it is possible to find some interesting expressions that are similar, but you're doing the wrong kind of work. You're trying to understand English with the eyes, with the view of your native language. And that will only make you stuck, because you will constantly go back to your language, think of how you would express something, and then you will go to English, and then you will try to find something similar. That's why so many students cannot use present perfect. But they don't use present perfect in their language. Present perfect doesn't even exist. Why? Because they were trying to learn present perfect with the view of their native language, the eye, the perception of their native language. And when that doesn't happen, they don't use it. They're like, oh, it's so difficult. So impossible. Oh my God. So, I'm almost dead. Well, you're thinking of Portuguese or any other language, but in English, not the best option. You're not almost dead. You're beat. That would be a good expression. You're toast. No, toast, no. Beat, it would be better. Okay, that would be a better way. So watch out. Now, here on YouTube, you can't see it on Instagram. If you want to get to the destination, independence, talking to anyone, anywhere, anytime, feeling independent about your ability to communicate, that is important. And understanding that you need to eliminate these three things. The journey to fluency, being an independent English speaker who can understand and talk to people in English, will require making the right choices. And these choices are connected with your study routine. The more messy, the messier, the more disorganized your journey is, the longer and more difficult it becomes. Not to mention, as I told you before, the emotional problem that it will cause. But teacher, I don't feel bad. Well, emotions are emotions. Maybe you don't feel bad, but you feel frustrated. There are many kinds of negative emotions. Sad, anger, sadness, anger, frustration, losing motivation. Bad choices, bad habits will make you feel that way, okay? So watch out. Be careful. Now, I had a BSA. Let me share. Go to the next slide. I had a BSA, and I was talking to this BSA, and I asked him, I was talking to him about his experience inside the academy, and then he explained to me how the academy helped him change his habits, because he told me that he tried many different courses, he tried many different programs, but he never made important changes on his study habits. And because of that, he was losing motivation. He was not feeling very positive about his ability to learn. And then the first thing he told me was, teacher, you helped me work on my emotions. NLP. My BSA in the academy have access to neurolinguistic programming activities, mind exercises. So this was something that helped him. And then the second was to study about habits, how to organize their study routine. In the academy, they have everything step by step, showing them what to do. They have a schedule, they have a habit tracker to help them stay focused. And finally, the environment. He understood that he can't just study anywhere. He needs an appropriate environment. He needs to set a time and a place to study. Otherwise, he will not. And sometimes you don't study because you don't have an environment, because you don't have a time here in your mind. You didn't schedule it. You just think, I will study sometime this week. But you didn't define well. So then he told me, teacher, now, every morning after breakfast, studying English became more exciting. So I finished breakfast and then I start following the habits you teach us in the academy. And he eliminated translation, studying English in English. Some of the elements that I'm teaching you tonight. So he started to have a good time with the language. Because sometimes the students feel that, if I sit down and just study, it'll be boring. I want to have a good time. Well, if you study the right way, you can still have a good time. It's not just watching memes that will make you happy. If you study the right way, you can feel positive. You can feel good about your study habits. You just need to make some changes in the way you study. That being said, guys, what is the wrong way to go about this, okay? Because I need to tell you the wrong way to make the necessary changes here. Basically, you get out of this lesson, that was awesome, Teacher Prix was really cool. And then you try to translate everything around you, associating with your language. But because in Portuguese, we say it like this, not like that. Well, forget your language. You're focusing on English. Let go. Have an Elsa moment. Let it go. Focus on English. Watching videos in bed. Remember physiology. You're studying. Get up. Sit down. Fired up and ready to go. Your posture will impact how you feel and will impact your focus. And focusing too much time on listening and speaking. I know you want to understand people in English. I know you want to speak clearly and be more confident, be an independent English speaker. But focusing all of your time only doing that will not give you the results you're thinking you are, because you're doing that. Some students come to me and say, but teacher, I use that app where I pay and then I speak to native speakers every day, but I'm not improving. What's wrong? I get messages like that. It's not just about practicing your English speaking. What is the strategy? That is so important. What strategy are you following? Because just talking will not help you improve. Yesterday, I was having a group conversation class with my babies. And then there were corrections, information, strategies, not just this speak, go, Power Rangers, go. Wrong way to go. You're spending your time on the wrong place. Okay? Bad. Now, the right thing, the right way to go. Set a place and time. I study on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Good. And keep your promise. Remember, you want to be confident? Keep your promises. The promises you make to yourself, don't break them. Otherwise, you will decrease your confidence because you're breaking promises to the most important person in the world, yourself. Number 2, eliminate translation. Take notes in English. Write down examples in English. Participate in English. Use the English language. You can immerse from your home. You don't need to go to another country to immerse, because immersion is connected with habits. If you have translating habits, you could live in England. You could live in Canada, you could live in Australia, and you would still translate. Why? Because of your habits. So change your habits. You can immerse from your home. And number 3, guard, protect your mental health. Thinking negatively, and I didn't finish here, will only bring you down. So whenever you catch yourself, but I'm really bad, but I really suck, well, watch out, okay? Watch out. Stop that mentality. That is not going to help you get any better, okay? Now, what can you start doing today? Changes you can start making this week in your study practice, in your routine. First thing, divide your time well. You can do different activities throughout the week. Today I was studying Italian a few hours ago. I spent about 40 minutes, but in the first 20 minutes, I worked on listening comprehension. Then I worked on vocabulary. Then I worked on shadowing. 3 things. And speaking, because I had to speak about it. 4 skills in 20 minutes. It's possible. Pay attention. And then in the last 5 minutes I used a little bit of entertainment. There's this guy I follow, he's Italian, and I like to watch his videos. So I spent the last 5 minutes watching his recent video about Twitter. Something that happened to Twitter. Do you know? Entertainment. I had a little fun because I watch him for fun. I don't always study him. I just watch him for fun to have a good time. Sometimes I study, but not always. So divide your time well. Speak a little, listen a little, write a little, read a little. Oh, but I don't have anyone to practice with me. Me neither. Practicing speaking skill needs to become a habit, even if you are alone, okay? Now, the next thing, focus on activities that will instigate your core skills, especially reasoning, paying attention, remembering. So, for example, you can read and use your reasoning skill. So you're reading something. Analyze the information. Do I agree? Do I disagree? What do I think about this? How does this change my view of the world? So for every video you watch or every article you read, practice answering this question. Do I agree or disagree? Because when you do that, you're working on your reasoning. And to answer this question, you can write and you can speak. You will be practicing writing and speaking and working on your reasoning. Students fail to speak English because they don't work on their reasoning in English. Reasoning. Oftentimes I ask people, do you agree? No. Why? They don't know why. They don't know why they agree. They're like, teacher, it's important. Yeah. Reasoning. To be able to explain good reasons, you need to practice. You will get better. Maybe you're good at doing that in your language. To be able to be good at that in English, you need to practice. And when does that happen? When you're studying. Oh, but how about the real world? You will only be able to do that in the real world if you have the confidence to do it. And the confidence to do it will come from the practice. You need to include this practice if you want to be able to answer questions and describe your views, your opinion, how you feel about it, reasoning. That's very important. Otherwise, you're always going to have very basic conversations because of your practice, because of the bad habits. So that's something for you to think about. Now, guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Make sure to share it with your friends. Help this live channel grow. I gotta go now, but I'll see you on Friday, okay? See you all on Friday, same time, with another English lesson. Thank you, people on Instagram. Thanks, people on YouTube. I'll see you on Friday.